Right.
But Silas and Timothy abode there still.
Right.
And they that conducted Paul brought him unto Athens. And receiving a commandment unto Silas and Timotheus for to come to him with all speed, they departed.
Check this out. So they received Paul, they brought him to Athens. Athens is in Greece. Check this out about the Greeks. The Greeks whom are Gentiles. The Greeks who are Edomites. Check this out. They believe, man. Just like Cornelius, the Italian. He believed that the Lord can grant them salvation. Just like the centurion who talked to Christ and said, man, I'm not worthy. I'm a man to give orders, man. He got more faith than any Israelite. We all right.
Acts 17:16.
So Christ, just say it, man. I know it's going to happen.
Now when Paul waited for them at Athens, his spirit was stirred up in him.
Right.
And when he saw the city wholly given to idolatry,
right,
therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews,
right,
and with the devout persons.
Come on.
And in the market daily with them that met with him.
So that Paul was in Athens. After he seen what was going on in the city, he said, wow, these jokers are going on. So he disputed with them in the marketplace every day. He was in Athens waiting for some other brothers. So he started to deal with them on a daily basis. Check this out, read on.
Acts 17.
Right.
Therefore disputed he in the synagogue with the Jews and with the devout persons in the market daily with them that met with him.
In the market. So they met with, how you feeling, huh? They met with him every day. Daily they met with him and he disputed with them. With who? The Jews and the devout persons. Who are the devout persons? Greeks. But we're not going to press that. But they disputed with him every day. Check this out.
Acts 17 and 18. Then certain philosophers of the Epicureans and of the Stoics encountered him. And some said, what will this babbler say?
They said, what are you going to do? Now these are philosophers. Check this out. Read on. They said, let's see what he got to say. They bumped into Paul and said, let's see what he got to say. Read on. These are Greeks. Read it.
Other some, he seemed to be a setter forth of strange powers.
Right.
Because he preached unto them Christ.
Right.
And the resurrection.
Check this out.
And they took him and brought him unto Areopagus,
right,
saying,
hey, how you doing? Areopolis, come on.
Saying, may we know what this new doctrine whereof thou speakest is.
Right, here now. Areopolis. Areopolis is a building, all right, on Areopagus. Sorry, but Areopagus, they took him to Areopagus. Areopagus is Mars Hill. Areopagus is Mars Hill. That's another name for Mars Hill. So they took Paul to Mars Hill. Why? Because they used to have like a truck coming by. So Areopagus is Mars Hill. They took him there. Why? Because they have a building on Mars Hill they call Areopolis. Where they used to try criminals at. They tried criminals in Athens. They also tried them during the Roman Empire. So it's like a stage for Paul to speak on. So they all could hear. So they said they want to hear what this brother's throwing down. What is he talking about? Check this out.
Acts 17 and 20. Without bringing certain strange things to our ears.
Right.
We would know therefore what these things mean.
He said you bring certain things. That's the Epicureans and the Stoics. They said the philosophers. They said, man, you speak some strange things. We want to know what you're talking about. Read on.
All the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else but either to tell or to hear some new thing.
All the Athenians, all the strangers, all Gentiles, they're there. All Gentiles. Check this out.
Then Paul stood in the midst of Mars Hill.
Because that's where Areopagus. Areopagus is Mars Hill. Read on.
And said, ye men of Athens, I perceive that in all things ye are too superstitious.
Check this out. Paul is attracted to the Gentiles directly. Read it.
Then Paul stood, verse Acts 17:23. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription.
Right.
To the unknown power, whom therefore ye ignorantly worship.
To the unknown Father whom you ignorantly worship. Is you we looking for. To the unknown power, that's who they worship. So Paul said, wow, they got this inscription to this idol. They're going to break it down for them. Who's listening to Paul at this time? Right, all Greeks, all strangers, foreigners, Gentiles, other nationalities. Read on out.
Acts 17:23. For as I passed by and beheld your devotions, I found an altar with this inscription: to the unknown power,
right,
whom therefore ye ignorantly worship.
Read it.
Him declare I unto you.
Right, the Most High calls out, we're going to declare the Heavenly Father because we know Him. Read it.
Acts 17:24.
Right.
The Most High that made the world and all things therein,
right,
seeing that He is Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with hands.
So the Lord don't dwell in temples made with hands. They all use these scriptures, man, but they don't like to do line upon line. They don't like to do line upon line because they're going to get convicted in what they're saying. I would love to see Nathaniel 7 and Barak Shah do line upon line on Acts 17. The way you do line upon line on Romans 11 is rip it up and rip it apart and destroy it. Read it out.
Acts 17:25.
Yes.
Neither is worship with men's hands as though he needed anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath in all things.
Read on.
And hath made of one blood all nations of men, and hath made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and hath determined the time before appointed in the bounds of their habitation.
So the Most High, He made all nations of earth, and they all got one blood. And He talking about the times appointed. I was just telling the brother before, the Bible is our book, man, to tell us what happened to us, what's happening with us, and what's going to happen to us. The past, present, and future. It's the lockdown. Read on that.
Acts 17:27.
Right?
That they should seek the Lord, if haply they might feel after Him and find Him.
Who should seek the Lord? Man, who should seek the Lord? Hold up. Give me that verse before that. Only Israel can seek the Lord. I know that because GMS said only Israel can get salvation. I know that because the Israelite Church is God and Jesus Christ. It's a crazy name. But they're the only ones that can get salvation. They can only search the Lord.
They could be our slaves in the new kingdom.
But they can be our slaves in the new kingdom. That's what they say. Listen here, man. The wisdom is too high for a fool. Wisdom is too high for a fool. Show them what you got.
Acts 17:26. They have made of one blood all nations of men.
Right.
For to dwell on all the face of the earth.
Come on.
And have determined the times before appointed in the bounds of their habitation.
Read on.
That they should seek the Lord, if haply they might